right, let's get it started. All right, welcome back. Under the rug. Yes, this is a special edition. I know we were just here just yesterday, 24 hours ago, but something took place that I just couldn't resist. And I saw it as a golden opportunity for us to have a good holistic discussion about some serious issues that we deal with in this country. One being infidelity. And apparently, a group was created. I don't know when it was. Was it just created yesterday?
I don't think that it
blew
was.
up yesterday.
But sometime this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometime this week, this group was created. Gail first told us about it actually on the show yesterday. Gail brought it up and made us aware of it. I didn't join the group,
Yeah,
so
I
I
heard it
have
on
no
WhatsApp
idea.
News.
I have no idea exactly what was said in this group, but that's why Dakota is here. We have Dakota Marshall, who is no stranger to the show. Chrissy Love, who also is no stranger, and Gail Hanna, who has been here for the past, how long, Gail? For 5 weeks straight. Eh?
My Lord,
Boy, look here,
far
yeah.
too long.
Yes, say too long.
I need a break.
Why you gotta say it like that, Pat?
Gail's so wrong.
But I have a panel of women to discuss this issue because apparently every single person has been posting about this group for the past couple of days. It's flooded my timeline. It's all people are talking about. And so I wanted to have a discussion about it. And we could talk about cheating in general, why people cheat, why we stay with people who cheat. And also there was also something else that took place recently. I don't know if you guys remember, but the pastor that was caught.
Washing his car?
Yes, while someone was washing his car. So it was two big incidences of cheating in the Bahamas. So we're going to have a holistic discussion about cheating. But this show actually, like I said, was sparked because of this group. And what's the name of the group, Dakota?
It's called Sis, This Your Man.
Sis, This Your Man.
Bahamas.
Bahamas. And
Bahamas.
and that's key because it wasn't originated. From what I understand, it was started in the United States. And, you know, like we always do, we got to jump on bandwagons. We hop on this one. And we create our own Bahamian version of the group. But for us that don't know, because I don't think Chrissy in the group, at least I hope Chrissy in the group. I don't think she in there. I know Gail in there. Gail says she refused to join it. I'm not in it.
No, I looked. I didn't join, but I looked.
You had a peek.
Yeah.
Okay. But Dakota was actually making posts about the group because she spent some time in the group. And she has the intel. So this is why I wanted
She's the Winter Soldier.
So that she could let us know what exactly the group is about and the things that were going on in this group that had people talking so much. Dakota, please fill us in. And someone said they confused. They heard about it, but they have no idea what's going on. So can you give us the rundown about this group?
Yeah, so I had heard about similar groups in the States, right? But, you know, as Bahamians, so we completely blew the purpose of the group out of proportion and derailed it completely. So in a few states, I had read a couple of months ago that there were these groups that females created where it would circumvent having men play them. They would post an image of the person they were dating or their significant other, and like other females would comment on whether they were also seeing this person or if they had no contact, whatever. So it's kind of supposed to be a positive thing.
Okay.
Bring it to the Bahamas. God.
So it started off with good intentions, just
Yes.
so women would, I guess, have this forum where they could, say, well, listen, this is, well, he's supposed to be my man. Are any of you having any relations with this person? Just so they know, you know what I mean?
Right. And in some states, it does work, and it's actually halfway decent.
Okay.
Again, I say, bring it to the Bahamas. God. So I joined the group yesterday. Very quickly, I realized that the age of the females that were participating the most, they were very young for the most part. There wasn't a lot of maturity being displayed. And the males that they were posting, literally, these little boys, they just come out of high school.
Can you give them the description that you posted
Give
on
them the
Facebook of the
rundown.
typical man being posted in the group?
First of all, right away it appeared to me that if your boyfriend didn't have gold teeth, you was pretty much straight. You don't want to worry. If your man ain't have gold teeth, you good to go. Literally, just if they posted 10 pictures back to back, 9 of those guys had a gold teeth or a grill or a gold chain with a gold coin on it.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a thing, the gold chain coin. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so very young boys, very young females. And it went from people saying, oh yeah, I sleep with this one is a dog, that one is a dog. Comments. The part that bothered me the most were the females who, after somebody said to them that, yeah, your boyfriend is juicing up all of these people, or he is community penis or something like that.
Community penis.
Exactly. Instead of like leaving with your information, packing up your Georgie bundle, picking up your face off the floor and go with your business. They were defending their positions and their relationships.
That's fight night.
Wow. You know, it's funny. Gail actually said that to me earlier while we were talking about doing the show. She said that, you know, like she was like, it's pointless because all they're going to do is beat up their gums and then stay anyway.
Listen, it was absolutely pointless. Whoa. Because females were, when I tell you literally, they were defending, saying how, oh, they don't care if he have a size check. If you didn't care, first of all, why are you posting him here?
Right.
That's number one. But since obviously you do care, you went on to defend to the extent where you had to describe how I won't be able to say this, but I won't be too, you know.
Man said, man.
Don't hold back now.
I telling you.
Okay. So she went on to describe and to let the females know that she hoped that their vagina, what were her exact words? She hoped that their vagina could grip and grab like hers, because that's why he will always come back to her. She's always going to be around.
We can't rise as a people, Lord.
And I'm reading this, and I'm like, there are 3 different females on this post that are telling you your boyfriend has slept with them at some point or the other. And you are here saying that he's always going to come back to you?
My goodness. You caused me follow just now. I passed out for a good second there. Chrissy, tell me, is this what you and your people march up and round in the road for women? How does this make you feel to see this take place in the Bahamas?
Well, as the older member of the group, I still say there's nothing new under the sun. This has been going on.
Senior member.
It's just that. Senior member, I got you, senior member, Gail. It's just that now we have social media and we have a way to record it. You know, this whole shaming and naming and also bragging about what you do sexually, this has always been a part of what we do as human beings. And especially in the Bahamas, you know, we like, if you want bullshit to spread quickly, bring it to the Bahamas. And so I don't think, the thing is, it's embarrassing. One would think that with all the challenges that we face as human beings, there'll be more high vibration things to look into. But, you know, ratchetry sells and people like ratchet shit. But I'm just shocked that this is the level as to, because when Gail, I was, like I said, reading Dakota's timeline and making a little sneak peek, I was a little ashamed. People were sending me screenshots about it because there were some people who knew some people who I know. And so they were sending me the shots and I was just like, Lord, this is why we as a people can't rise.
Yep.
We always go into the lowest common denominator bullshit. But I guess that's what's entertaining. But, you know, with regard to marching in the street, you know, my grandparents marched in the street for women to have the right to act like a jackass.
Well, that is true.
You know, if you want to embrace jackassery, then I guess that's your choice. But I still don't understand how that's fostering and furthering anything for the greater good. Get it?
Go ahead.
And why these little children ain't down reading a book? Because most of them are 25. Go read a damn book. Go learn how to pronounce pregnant.
Personally, I think the most disturbing realization about this for me is as much positive things as I try to do from time to time, I have never seen anything positive catch on and spread like wildfire this quickly in the Bahamas in my life. Nothing.
Well, for some reason, people just gravitate
social
towards
media is being used, right? And plus, social media is being used for this whole name and shame. Y'all young children might know about Hester Prynne and the Scarlet Letter, the story of the woman who had the big letter on her chest. I like how the woman only had to wear the letter and not the man. But this whole naming and shaming and bragging about what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very common on social media.
Yes, it is. And I mean, it can, like I say, there's so many good that we could do with this technology, but for some reason, we find ways to turn it into the most negative things possible. Because
it's like we have that gift. That's like a Bahamian gift. We know how to do that. Yes. We can make the worst out of anything.
And Gail, why were you and how were you able to avoid joining the group? First, why did you not want to join it, and how were you able to avoid it? Because let's be honest, while these things are pointless, you gotta admit that certain things, for some reason, are entertaining to us, and we can't resist to partake.
Greg, I am actively trying to be a better person in life, which includes staying away from messy, tropsy situations. These may include said group, and I may have been tempted to post a photo or two just to ensure, the safety of my imagined relationships. But I'm just saying, it's easy to stay back and, try to avoid what's going on because I can only see it ending in disaster. They're already talking about, one girl say, let me join this group. I feeling murdery.
What?
Yes.
Murdery.
Someone said that?
Yeah, she said she feeling murdery. Let me go see if my man on this page.
Oh my goodness.
Low vibration. Low vibration.
So how you think people carried on?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, right? You know how I know Keitra crazy, right? It crossed my mind. I say I should message Keitra and tell I see Greg picture on there.
Dakota.
The cookie caterer.
Yeah, don't make me drop my phone.
Dakota, me and you would have had to fight. But I don't understand. Like, okay, fill me in, right? What I still don't get, like, what's the process? So, do the women that are involved with, like, let's say, okay, this is my boyfriend. Do they just post a picture of their man and then ask, is anybody seeing him? Or does the person that's cheating with their man post a picture of the man? I don't understand. Who does the posting?
Oh, Greg. Some. All. Both were happening. And then, as it goes with negativity, right? I think what ended up happening is the tropsiness, the excitement of the tropsiness. Like, people started posting things that weren't true.
Oh, well, we know it was only a matter of time before that happened. And
of course, that was imminent.
I started talking about that today, like just because they want to see some drama, they would post false things. You know what I mean? Or like I told Keitra earlier, I said, listen, you know what some people might do? They know this situation, just to get some attention, they may message a man or one of their male friends that they know has a girlfriend and just try to bait him to say something out of the way in that conversation just so they could screenshot it and post it in the group.
Yeah. So then at some point, a lot of dishonesty. If you read through, people were claiming that some things weren't true, that some things were lies. And then there was this special person, this special female, who posted her boyfriend, and nobody replied to the post.
Nobody want a man.
And she got offended.
She got offended.
Oh, like, what kind of assholery is this?
You know what it is? People have a high affiliation need, and people want to be noticed, and people want to be seen. And I think sometimes people use very strange means to get attention.
Yes, Christy, definitely.
That's psychology. That's pathology. I don't get it.
Well, you know what it is, Christy? Like you say, we yearn for that attention because, unfortunately, a lot of us, I could probably say most of us, probably come from dysfunctional families, and we didn't receive that attention. We weren't made to feel as though we were important, that we matter. And so when we get into adulthood, we have a natural human need for that feeling of acceptance, you know what I mean? And just that crave for attention. So people
attention,
are willing to
and also, Greg, a lot of people identify with dysfunction. Like, normalcy is awkward and weird.
Yeah, because they're not used to it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
what
like
about
I said, that's a result of us coming from these dysfunctional homes. And some people would actually sabotage. Some people would actually sabotage good situations just to get in a situation of dysfunction that they're comfortable with.
Sure enough, that's like, the makeup to break up. Let me make one little row so we can make up, so we can row, and then I get the euphoric feeling of making back up with my partner. So women really do that.
Deficient.
Very, very deficient. But let's talk about that deficiency. And well, first let's talk about cheating, sweethearting, whatever you want to call it, in the Bahamas.
You mean the national pastime?
Yes. And
let's just call it Friday.
we could call it more than that, because the amount of cheating that goes on in this town, we can't just put it to one day. And what kills me is how accepted it is. It's just like you said, just another day. It has become so accepted. So why how do we get to this point to where sweethearting is now the national pastime in the Bahamas?
Not now, always was. It's just that now
Thank
we
you,
have cameras and social media.
But people would make. Well,
the only difference now is that everything is available to us, information-wise. We see everything, we hear everything. Back in the day when you only had phone, you had to sneak
and go ride around the house
and
now
write
you have
little.
everything available to your fingertips. You can email, you can text.
Chrissy, what you drinking?
I drink in a mixture of seltzer water and cola champagne.
Only because I can't verify that, I gotta take your word for it.
I tell you, since I've been in America, I haven't had to drink to deal with niggas.
Lucky you. But let's talk.
Right?
Let's talk with these niggas that we got to deal with in the Bahamas. Now,
Greg, can we talk about the naked photos and the nudes?
Go ahead, Gail. I don't know. I was in the group, so please tell us what about the
Can we
naked
talk
photos
about
and
the
nudes?
naked photos and nudes that were posted as well?
Go ahead.
I think for the most part, there were way more. There were a lot of nudes posted in the men, because y'all aware that a male created a similar group, right?
Man, stop the madness, man. What that one mean?
Hold on, that's a whole other thing now. That's called liking man.
Yes, a male created a whole similar group. And so there were, from what I heard and saw, there were a lot of nudes that originated in that group. In the female group, there was not a high amount of nudity. There were a few dick pics here and there, but literally I only saw about 3. The majority were just male photos, and they kept it clean. They didn't really, they weren't posting sexually explicit photos to that extent.
But Gail, which photos you mean, Gail? Which photos you mean, Gail? You say you want to talk about the naked photos and the nudes. Which ones you referring to?
I don't know, just the pictures of people front.
Well, tell us
in the group
that you get. Tell us.
in the group.
What?
The males,
especially the males. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. Yeah, like the males were posting photos of, I guess, news that they have received through the course of talking or a relationship or whatever the case may be. Just women who may have sent them photos, or I don't know how they got the photos, but they decided to post it and say saying who gal this is. Like, you're supposed to recognize the young lady from her vagina.
Yeah.
Really? You can recognize someone? Boy, this is interesting.
That's very interesting.
People too damn idle and sudging for likes and attention.
Big time.
Sudging for attention.
And I said a couple
your
of weeks
cousin
ago.
post?
Say again?
And your cousin post a nude as well?
Well, yeah, and I ain't surprised. That's Chrissy Fred.
I told Greg about that. That's what I'm telling you about today, Greg.
Oh. Yes, Greg's cousin posted something.
Oh, that's what you mean when you say, oh, okay.
Yes.
I was wondering what you was talking about,
Formally refer to him as Greg's cousin.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Greg. My condolences.
Why?
Because he's a real asshole.
Hold on, but why you feel sorry for me?
Because, I hate talking about him like that because he's your family.
Listen, that ain't got nothing to do with me. He's my cousin. I love him as my family. I don't have a bad relationship. I don't approve of a lot of the things that he do, a lot of the things that he posts. But at the end of the day, that's my family. But if you feel a way about him and you say it, that's on you. That don't have nothing to do with me. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I tell him, he come try to talk to me. He tried to talk to me one time to try to deliver a message to you. I say, look at big man. my job ain't to be your press liaison, all right? If it's an issue,
that
you
nigga
go
is
and
in.
address the person. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Don't get me mixed up in your quarrel. So say what you gotta say. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's what I was telling you today on the WhatsApp thing. I was talking when I said your cousin and his post ridiculous.
Oh, yes. But Gail showed me that. Gail showed me the screenshot of what he posts. And I was like, I wasn't surprised because I know him. You know what I mean? And I know what he about and what he liked. But it's interesting. So women were posting pictures of men and men were posting pictures of vaginas.
Basically.
And that you had to identify by the picture.
Quite a few of them posted nudes, a range of nudes.
Well, tell me something. Why? And let's me asking ladies in general, and y'all could comment too. Why y'all still sending nude pictures to niggas? Please tell me why. Have you not learned your lesson?
I have. See, my thing is, right? I am not anti-sending nudes. My issue is know who you're sending your nudes to.
But even so, yes. I mean, listen.
Amen.
Even so,
amen.
Don't chance that because listen, things could be dead sweet in a relationship.
Hey, what's up, Papa Rico?
This boy could seem like the best, most straight up, most honest person around. But the minute he get mad, he may do something just out of anger, or his phone may be lying around, and someone else may get access.
That's why you have rules. You have rules, Greg.
What
you
rules?
Don't put your face in nudes.
Okay, see, now I can get down with that. And I say that all the time. And I say, I don't condone nudes, but if you could do it, please don't put your face in it.
You don't put your face in nudes. Come on.
Yes, don't put your face in it. But hey, that ain't gonna work apparently because now they could identify you by your vagina according to this next group. So now that ain't gonna work no more.
They need to create a FBI algorithm.
But I don't understand it. But let's talk about cheating because I'm sure I could say with confidence that all us here have been cheated on at least once. Correct?
Or cheated.
Okay.
Cheated on or done cheating.
Okay. Well, let me ask this: who here has cheated before?
Me. I have. I have to be honest.
Gail do?
4 out of 4.
Chrissy, you do?
Yes, I have.
Hold on now. Now, Gail, I rebuke that in the name of Haitian Jesus. I have never, ever cheated in my life.
You would never send a text message you didn't want your partner to see?
Never.
Because cheating isn't just the sex thing.
Boy, Greg, you sound like a man of great dichotomy.
And listen, I am being extremely honest. I have never. See, I live by a simple creed, right?
Impressive, Greg.
Go ahead.
I say, listen, in a relationship,
shenanigans.
I'm very simple. I won't do something that I don't want you to do to me.
That's true.
And vice versa.
But if they do it to you, you got to pay them back.
And oh jeez. But this is interesting. Now y'all got me curious. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's go down the line, right? Let's start with Gail because I'm surprised.
Why the hell you want to start with me? Sorry, go ahead.
Say, Amanda, go ahead. Let's start with Gail. Okay, let's talk about cheating. What made you cheat on the person you were involved with?
Child, you put a weight on my shoulder just now.
No, man. That's weight. You know what? The weight was always on your shoulder. This is you now lifting the weight off.
It wasn't, Cheating. Let me see.
I want to hear, Gail. Hurry up.
Honestly, okay, besides the internal thing, right? Let's say besides my own internal, things what I need to work through, insecurity, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes, when you go to the shop, the one shop ain't have everything which you need. But sometimes it might have the staples. So then you might have to go out west or east to the fancy shop to get the fancy things. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it ain't all in one shop. Sometimes you have to shop different places.
I agree, Chrissy. She greedy.
Very. Used to be the whole life that we talking about, my Lord.
So Gail, it was your whole thing was this person did not fulfill all the needs that you had, and so you felt as though you needed to go elsewhere to get
so Greg, you
the
remember
qualities
the list we talked about yesterday, right? I had a list. So you had to
remember the show
this and
with
this
the
and this,
list.
all superficial things mainly. Yeah.
So
but okay, so
young.
let's say John get 5 out of 10.
Okay.
And then Henry might have 2 out of 10. And then Bill might have 1 out of 10. And I still missing a 1. Okay, the next 2. Right? Something like that, where you put it all together like a Build-A-Bear workshop. Where you have the 3 boyfriend equal to 1 good boyfriend.
Oh my goodness. I appreciate your honesty. All right, that's interesting. Dakota.
This back in the day, though.
Yeah, this back in the day. I hear you. Like last week. Anyhow,
Gail.
Dakota.
Hey.
Let's get to you. Why did you cheat?
Well, for me, the first time that I cheated in my long-term relationship.
The first time. Go ahead.
Yeah, literally, it was out of curiosity. Because I had been with my boyfriend from 9th grade. From 9th grade until about 22, 23. And so he had literally been the only person that I've ever been with entirely.
So what caused that curiosity? Was it conversations with girlfriends or, like what caused that curiosity? Because, a lot of people like to say, well, you can't miss what you never had or whatever. So what really caused you to think?
It wasn't really an influence. I think within myself personally, I intended to stay with him forever. So I kind of figured, let me ride a different surfboard a little bit to see, to make sure I'm before I really and truly commit to this for the rest of my life.
My Lord.
This is interesting. Christina.
Coda.
Why did you cheat?
Well, in true fashion, I cheated because I was being cheated on.
So yours was revenge.
It was being a good girl. I was being a good girl, and then when I found out I was being cheated on, I was like, to hell with you then. Oh, we playing that game. All right.
Well, that's the second time for me, Chrissy, so I could identify with that.
Yeah. So that was what my cheating was. But fidelity, the thing is fidelity, even though as a woman, and I know I'm going to get kicked out the female club, monogamy is not really a natural thing. You have to work on being monogamous.
Chrissy, use my spirit animal.
It is
Don't
work.
see why I love Chrissy?
No, but that's the truth. It is the truth. No, I mean, I completely agree with that.
It's true.
So do I. I say it all the time.
But that don't mean you mustn't commit to a person if you are committed to them. But it is very difficult to eat the same corned beef and white rice every day.
That's what Dakota was saying.
My Lord.
But you know what I find interesting? This is 3 different women, and for some reason, and we dumb for this, us men. Society has this whole thing that women don't cheat, but men are dogs. Men can't help themselves. They cheat all the time. I say, listen. Big man, women out there cheating almost just about as much as men. The only thing is they are better at it and they're better at hiding it. And they don't admit to it. They're smarter when they cheat. Like you say, Chrissy, they're smarter. And it's interesting. And I appreciate you all for admitting it and the reasons. And if you take notice, each of you listed 3 completely different reasons for cheating. One was the person didn't measure up in all the categories that they would like. The other was out of curiosity and the other was out of revenge. So there's a wide range of reasons why people cheat, because from what I hear, if you listen to men and women talk, these relationship conversations, what you tend to hear is, they say, women cheat for emo, men cheat for ego. And often the emo, what they talk about with women cheating is more like Gail's situation. Like,
I think that's minimal, though. I think it's minimal that people cheat for their ego. Like the men who cheat for sport, I think that they are small in numbers.
But ego is emotion, too. I don't know if people realize that.
We
are all emotional creatures. We all cheat for some degree of emotion. It's just different emotions. And like I said, and this is why I said this is so interesting, that we have 3 women that cheated for 3 completely different reasons. So you can't just pigeonhole, one whole group, set of one gender to say, well, this is why they cheat. Because it varies. It's various reasons why people cheat. And that's what I want to explore, because it's happening so much. and I want to see how we can reduce this, because it's causing a lot of issues, not just with people breaking up, but it's causing a lot of domestic violence.
Reduce it, Greg. These people like crying too much.
No, but I mean, listen. Listen.
I think a lot of
I can only
men,
control
Greg,
my actions, but I mean, if we could at least have these progressive conversations, maybe for a couple people, we could get them to at least think differently about it, and maybe next time they would reconsider. You know what I mean?
Greg, I think a lot of men get super comfortable in this dating or relationship pool here, where they feel as though they check off, let's say, the top 5 things we're supposed to keep a woman in this society, and once they meet that, it's like no effort beyond that. And I think a lot of women experience a thing where, okay, the man say he covering the bills, so you just supposed to be there, or he is taking care of his children, so you're supposed to be there, or, you know, stuff like that, where it's like that emotional aspect of actually nurturing a woman or being there for a woman emotionally. Most times it's lacking in Bahamian men. I don't know if that's experience as well.
I don't disagree with that. But
that's true.
But you know it, and this is what we spoke about yesterday, Gail. Remember, you know what the other issue is too? Is women tend to do a poor job of communicating that to men when that is the case. Like, let me ask, because since this was your case, right, Gail? Did you communicate that with the person that you were cheating on, that they were lacking in these areas that you needed so badly that you had to seek them elsewhere?
No, but let me tell you what.
See, that's
in a few cases, no, and in a few cases, yes.
Okay.
In the cases with no, it'll look good for us to be together. Like, and especially getting pressure from different avenues to get married, especially where, okay, you being with a person for X amount of time, or y'all look good together, or it's just time to settle down or whatever. And then you actually ain't interested in the situation, but due to external pressure, you decide to stay with it, and then you still step out. Like that. Or, for example, that was very specific. Wow. Okay, so let's say you talk to the person about a specific goal. Like, let's say I want to have children, but you don't want to have children. But you still want to get married on the principle of us looking good together or something like that. Like situations where I would have communicated, okay, I expect this in a relationship, and they say I may, or they'll be like, oh, I'll warm up to that, or I may consider that in the long run. Whereas they're still trying to continue a relationship, even though it's a really strong point that you really should break a bond, you know what I mean? Or split apart from. Like something major like that. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, let's just keep the relationship, even though we don't have the same, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't on the same path really, but we been doing this for long enough. Let's just keep going.
I with you, Gail.
Yeah.
Me and Gail on the same wavelength. Because in my past relationship, I've always been a communicator. And because emotionally, I am needy. I need attention. I need emotion. I need to feel wanted on a regular basis. And so being in a long-term relationship, you know, with somebody for over 10 years, when you grow, if you ain't grow together, you only can grow apart. And I think at some point in that relationship, we grew apart, but because we stayed together for so long, the external pressure was definitely there to stay together and aspire to marriage, which was something that never happened. And trust me, I am so happy that it didn't. In retrospect, I'm so happy that it didn't, because I realized in the long term that even though I communicated to him on a regular basis the things that I needed, like we would have a complete breakdown and, okay, we would talk about it. He would make an attempt to try and provide me with these things, and literally it would like last for 2 weeks. Wow. And then we'd go right back to the same shithole that it was before. So
that's common.
That temporary band-aid.
Yes.
Yeah, and see, but that's the thing. Like, well, Chrissy, you wanted to add anything, Chrissy?
No, I was saying that is very common. You know, people, no matter how diverse and eclectic we think we are creatures of habit. And a lot of times in relationships, you have your needs, the other person has their needs. And by the way, I want to, everybody who's watching the show and talking to me outside, yes, I did admit to that. if you cheat on me, I can cheat on you back. Thank you. But I'm saying that we creatures of habit. A lot of times, like the pressure that you feel, oh, you should marry this person. Oh, you look good with this person. But a lot of times we have to stop sacrificing our comfort for full joy.
Yes.
Greg, this man take me to the store to try on a ring.
Really?
And was grinding the other gals and texting them about, oh, take the picture of the pillow with the tears and the snot in the pillow. I'm talking about all this, remember this, and this how I had you and all kind of things. So
what?
Exactly, it is be. What? Trust me, babe. Trust me, it is be deep.
What the hell is going on in this town? Jeez. But like
people.
Say again.
No, people are they're very convoluted and twisted.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are complicated.
Yeah, and I think, like I say, because we come from so much dysfunction, very few of us ever experience like a healthy relationship. And another thing is like parents, like even if we were blessed to have parents, both parents in the home, the parents would not like have discussions or let's say arguments in front of the kids. And so they don't get to see their parents work through issues. We like to pretend as though, things are hunky-dory wild as
my parents was like that too.
Yeah, like
they don't fight in front of us.
Right, because they don't want to see. And I get it. I understand why, you don't want your kids to see that. But I think there's a way you can do it to where they can see how humans interact and how they get to work through issues. Because if they don't get to witness it, then they don't know what to do when they're faced with that situation. They may go about thinking, oh, well, my parents never argued. They never had any disagreements. Everything was all good. Is something wrong with me and my relationship because we having these issues and they don't know how to work through it. But I want to get to, and a lot of people they say I must use an alien or something. But yes, I have never cheated on anybody in my.
I tried just asking Greg this. Never text.
I call shenanigans. He probably wouldn't even admit to that if it was
true.
No,
listen, Gail. Listen to me. The honest. Like I say, to Haitian Jews,
I actually believe Greg.
I have never. Listen,
Greg, you've never sent a message you wouldn't want your significant other to see or a photo
never.
Or
Let me tell you how bad it is.
Interaction.
Gail, I tried this already. Gail, let go.
I understand. Thank you, Chrissy. All right.
Let's talk about that, right? Look how common it is to the point to where we don't even believe somebody when they say they have never cheated because we can't fathom that. That's how common cheating is.
Greg, we all have a different definition of cheating. I think that's really the problem. And a lot of us feel as though cheating is actually sexual intercourse with the person. But that's not where cheating starts.
No, that's not where it begins. Definitely not.
Okay, well, tell us, what is cheating, Gail?
To me, cheating is whatever you don't want your partner to see or hear or whatever you're doing. If you can't do it in front of your partner, you cheating. That's
definitely agree. Right. I definitely agree.
Well, that make it.
So you have WhatsApp, you have social media. You're going to be exposed to certain things, and any comments, any whatever you have going on that you wouldn't want your partner to see.
If you have to be cheating. Conversations because you don't want your partner to see them. That's
lock on your phone.
Okay, so
you're hiding something.
I know about that, boy. Like
phone FaceTime.
I know all about that. And listen, my phone is open, but I don't. Any person I involved with, they have full access to my phone because I ain't got nothing to hide.
Same, that's me.
I'm impressed.
Like honestly, if I tell people now, when I tell people that my relationship is wide open, I don't have a lock on my phone. I have nothing to hide because I don't have time. I'm not interested in cheating, and quite frankly, I don't have that kind of time.
You don't get yours out.
Yeah, I did that when I was younger. I don't have that kind of patience and energy and time.
Right.
That takes a lot of energy.
Plus, cheating is
that
risky.
Takes so much energy.
And
we
men.
live in a petri disease.
Say again, Chrissy.
We live in a petri dish of disease.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm glad you say that, Chrissy, because this is my biggest issue.
Yeah.
We love to cheat in this town, and Bahamians don't like condom.
Real, they love the raw dog.
Raw dogging and cheating is the most dangerous game of Russian roulette you could play, and we doing it on a regular basis in this country. That's where my main concern is. My thing is, my goodness, if you could cheat, If you can cheat, I don't want you to cheat. I don't condone cheating. But if you could do it, at least have the decency
Protect yourself.
as thank you as a human
Protect
being
your partner.
to protect, even like exactly like what Gail say, even if you don't want to protect yourself, at least protect your partner like this. Okay, so let's say you decide you're gonna go juice this little thing or whatever. You go there, you deal with it.
And deal with that wife.
Yeah, you raw dog the wife, right? And use no condom. At least have the decency to be a big person and come out before you get in any sexual intercourse with your partner to say, well, listen, baby, this is what happened. This is what took place. Bam, bam, bam. Give them the option. Don't make that decision for them. You know what I mean?
You know how many
Greg,
people
please
have
stop
died
your
in
shit
this
now.
country?
Now you know men don't do that.
Who says that?
Their spouse.
Wait about a sec. What kind of country this is? I
You know
guess
how
you're
many
out
people
for
have
doing the
died
right
from
thing.
These
STDs?
niggas will die before they
Yeah.
tell you they
Right.
cheat on you.
Oh,
In the grave.
and they're
Hold
lying.
on. Don't just say niggas now, because let me ask y'all. Did y'all tell y'all partner when y'all was cheating?
Hell no.
So don't
Well,
just say niggas.
once
Don't just put that on the niggas, Dakota. Don't try that.
I have to slip that in there now.
No, don't try that. Don't be disingenuous around here. Because gals ain't gonna tell neither. Matter of fact, we just say earlier, y'all is hide it better.
Yeah, that
The
girl, that
problem
girl
is,
is
right?
right with
Still
me to
Greg,
make
let me tell you
bed.
the problem.
What
But
the
see,
problem
I
is?
never
The
get
problem
catch
is
though.
this. Exactly.
If you get catch, if you get catch, you can't get
Only-
catch and still try to lie to my face.
You
My
can't- you
God.
Let's do it. Greg, the problem is when a woman gets cheated on, she can sit down, she might could think about it, she might weigh the pros and cons, and maybe move a little bit past that. Y'all, when y'all get cheated on, meaning men, that's it.
Use a hoe for life skin. Now you might as well forget it.
Yeah.
You cheat on me,
true.
use a hoe for life.
But y'all is
You
contributing
going
to
to
that
lunch
too.
with him? Or
I ain't want you no more. You done been with another man. That mash.
Yep.
But y'all
I can
is
tell you-
contribute to that too. Y'all is add to that stigma. Because y'all is talk about the same gals too.
Which gals?
Listen,
Hold on, who's y'all?
look at
Y'all, listen.
No, we do.
Greg,
You're
what you
right.
talking
We
about?
How
do.
much time y'all
We
is
do.
call gals bad for doing certain things and
I
hoes
don't
and
call
things?
no gal bad. There ain't no
boy,
gal
if you're
as
bad,
me.
you're bad.
See? All right then.
If you're bad, and I know you're bad, I can say you're bad.
Well, I ain't
Exactly,
saying-
Dakota.
your
That's what I'm
wife.
saying. And so at one point, people were saying that about you too.
They could say it.
Yes. So don't.
Everybody can say that about everybody. So
Oh jeez. Well, you just say you don't say it. Now you say it.
I don't say it. I don't say it
Everybody
because
except
as
you.
far as I'm concerned, I can't judge nobody based on what I've done in my life.
Okay.
I cannot.
I'm glad
So
you
if
come to
you
that
do
realization.
I
something,
agree, Gail.
I'll just be like, y'all. I
It's
know
not
if you want to
judgment.
consider this, but I ain't calling you bad. That is not my vibe.
I'm glad.
You know, I call you bad, but I ain't gonna judge you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
judge.
serious.
To each his
Actually,
own, for
Dakota,
real though.
that don't make no sense, Dakota. You call
Why?
it bad.
I believe that to each his own. If
It
you
is
bad,
what
I
it
can
is.
say,
No,
hey,
what I'm
what's up,
saying is-
bad? You know what?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is your statement don't make sense. It's a contradiction because you calling them bad is a judgment.
No, she makes sense. She ain't judging you. She just
I
calling
make
the spirit
sense.
a spirit.
I'm
That's a
judging you, you know.
judgment.
I'm not,
That's not
when I call,
judgment.
if I say this gal bad, right? I don't care what she do, you know. Whatever you have
Correct.
to do, sweetie, that on you.
If
I ain't
if
judging you
Dakota
for it.
say if you ball, you just ball. That don't mean she trying to like
You
judge you
just
for
No,
being
bad.
bald.
I ain't judging you, you
but
know.
listen, you know what the difference is? No. See,
Go
you're trying to.
ahead.
But listen, you can talk fool, eh? The difference is,
What's
it
the
is a
difference?
fact that I am bald, right?
It's not a fact that you
It's
bald.
also,
It is an opinion that someone else is bad. That's
So-
it.
I
Okay,
don't
now
have no opinion. If I know you are 5, man,
But
that
that's-
ain't no
No.
opinion.
No, but
That
to
is
you,
the fact you bad, man.
no, but Dakota,
Right.
to you that may be
That's
bad.
the fact.
Someone else threshold might be
That's
10
a
men is bad.
lifetime.
You understand? So that's
Okay.
subjective. That's relative.
Oh, Lord.
Everybody have different, definitions of bad. That's what I mean.
This is
No,
true.
there are
I
rules.
agree. This is true.
That's what I mean. But let's.
But in regard
There
to
are
cheating, you
rules.
know, as I get up in my old years, I already off the calendar, my bad. But anyway, I've come to this point in my life where if you are not happy in a relationship, if you are not content, if you have communicated this and it doesn't seem to be working, leave. That's
Amen.
leaving is something that behemoth women do not know how to do. We do
Women?
not know how to
No,
leave a
no.
situation that is not good for us.
Amen.
What about men?
And the
Don't
part,
know.
Hold on. The fact about it is, right? One time I said I
Men
was
leave
leaving,
easier.
and the guy said, "You the first one who decided to leave because of this cheating thing."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We don't know how to leave.
Why? Why is that? Let me get each of y'all opinion. Why do you think?
Because our mothers
women
taught us
tend...
not to do it.
Mm-hmm. You was a wife, for better or for worse.
Just strictly because of your mothers, or is it society as a whole? Expect
It's
you to
indoctrinated in us from birth, Greg. This is something that you hear as young girls growing up, as young women growing up into adulthood. One thing that is constant in your life that you will always hear is you try to make it work. People is make mistakes. Nigga, if you cheat on me the first time, we can work it out.
Like
and when you cheat on me 5, 15, 20 teen times, what I stand for?
Well, tell me this.
Yeah.
When cheating occurs for y'all, what is the actual worst part about it? Because for me, what I think I've discovered and through experience with women and being cheated on, right? What I've discovered is, and I thought, like when I was younger, I thought the actual act of cheating, like just picturing another man just dealing with your girl, would have been the worst part of it, right? But what I've come to realize with me is, it's not the actual act, but it's the betrayal, it's the deceit, it's the dishonesty. That's what hurts the most, at least for me personally. When you're going through it, what was the worst part about it?
For me, the act is not something that really got to my core. What really tore me up is that's like how I said earlier, I already know what's going on. Just simply be a man and say to me, yes, this is what I did, this is what happened, this is what is happening, and this is why. Don't try to distract me from what is really going on. Don't try to put it on me. Don't try to turn the tables and make me feel like this happened because it's my fault, because this happened in my relationship. Literally, you cheating, you're trying to tell me you cheating because it's my fault.
Right. Crazy.
I mean,
that's the most first of all, the denying and the dishonesty and lying to my face. Especially for a woman like you, consider myself to be a very intelligent person. Ain't nothing that kill me more than you standing right in my face and making me feel like you think I did stupid to believe what you're telling me.
Right.
I think for a lot of people, it's the betrayal that hurts the most, as opposed to you actually going out there and being with somebody. Because mentally, I could sit down and I could rationalize you being with somebody. But what I can't rationalize is me and you here sleeping in the same bed every night, and I ask you a question and you don't respect me enough to just be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That
exactly.
is a serious thing. What about you, Gail? Gail, you still up? Paige and Gail.
What was the question again? How do you feel about cheating?
No, like what's the worst part about it? Is it the actual act of cheating, or like was it something else? Like what's the worst part when you found out like someone was cheating on you?
I think it's the wasting of your time, honestly, because when you decide to get into a relationship, it's for a purpose. Hopefully, I'm just saying. So when the person has agreed to this commitment, you anticipate that that's what's set to happen. So the fact that you weren't ready for that level, basically, that's what you're saying. Like cheating, you're not ready for whatever level you decide that relationship means to you. You're wasting my time. I think that was the main thing. Like besides the betrayal, like how Dakota mentioned and you've mentioned and stuff like that. Like the betrayal is hard enough, but the fact that you waste some time that you don't get back, my God, that doesn't bug me.
That's Chrissy, what about you? What was the worst part when you found out, you were being cheated?
Well, like you, it's that betrayal and that broken trust. Once I can't trust you anymore, that's a challenge. And the fact that
you peep ghost, right? Like, did you actually see the act, or what was the story again?
Say peep ghost. Somebody daddy.
No, I didn't see the penis going into the vagina. However, I had good reconnaissance that told me that he was cheating.
Okay.
Very good reconnaissance, very good information, but it's the broken trust. It's like anything you say to me is a lie. You could say the sky is blue. I'll be like, you motherfucking lie. I can't trust you anymore.
Right.
Real.
And that's what hurts. I didn't care about the fact that whatever you did, but why lie? And can I just say, Bahamian man could lie to save you off the cross. They
Well, let's talk about that. Let's start with you, Chrissy. What are some of the worst lies you've heard from a cheating spouse before? Go ahead, Chrissy.
Oh, well, my favorite one, when my husband cheated on me, and I got a phone call from the woman telling me that she was in our home. My favorite line was that she had to come up. Yeah, you heard me. I didn't stutter. My favorite line that he said was that, well, she wasn't really in the house. She came to help him. She came to help him lift some groceries to the house. I was like, that's what you call talk now? Groceries?
Help me, Lord. Help me, Father.
It's called groceries now. And that's
man, Greg, read this comment. I gotta read this comment.
Man, what?
He said, my thing is, though, if women wasn't willing to share, half the amount of cheating wouldn't happen, honestly. The amount of women who know this man would still entertain him, take things from him, etc.
Yeah.
Till it gets to a point where an affair starts. You don't want to be cheated on, but you don't mind being the woman he's cheating with.
But hold on, Dakota. Don't jump there yet. I need to hear this. What's the lie you've been told? The worst one. Hello?
Who?
What's the worst lie you've been told by a cheating spouse?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember those things.
What? So you
honestly, I don't.
Gotta stop lying.
I'm serious, man.
Honest to God,
I don't believe
won't lie about that.
I don't believe
I've purged them from my memory.
Really? You had a lobotomy, eh?
Yeah.
That's very
I'm
effective.
telling y'all.
Okay, well, tell me one that you give. Did you ever lie about cheating?
Yeah, but I just.
Okay, hold on. Don't go to that but yet. Since you ain't gonna give us no lie that someone tell you, what was the lie that you told your spouse when you were cheating?
I've never gotten caught though, so I just.
Hold on, Dakota. You just say you lied.
Just because you ain't get caught, that didn't mean nothing.
And take off them for Micah bottom shoe. Come and tell the truth now.
This is what I'm saying. I never had to make up a story or lie because I never got caught. The first time that I cheated, I admitted to that.
So I asked if you lied before you said yes. So what was that a lie?
What was the lie?
You say if I lie about cheating.
Yes.
Yes.
Or you meant you didn't admit to it is what you meant.
Yes, I didn't admit. I never admit to saying yes, I have cheated.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Hold on, but
you lied.
Anyhow, to go around here dancing. All right, Gail, what's the worst lie you've heard from someone who's cheating on you?
I want to marry you.
Oh my goodness, I was not prepared for that one.
What Gail say?
Gail said the worst lie she had was.
Sorry, will marry me.
No man, I talking about the excuse. Like when you were suspicious and you approach him
when you
with some information, evidence. What was the lie told to you?
Oh, he don't know.
Wow.
He never seen it before in his life.
Wasn't me.
Wow.
Wasn't me.
He don't know who that is.
Just complete denial of the person.
Papa,
wow.
Complete denial.
My goodness.
Boy, that's right.
Say that is run your heart.
Okay.
Dakota, what you mean? You tell us you ain't remember none, so how you know that's run your heart?
I'm saying if somebody tell me that, I'll run the heart. But I have no recollection of him ever saying that to me.
You can change, boy.
He's never denied knowing somebody that he cheated with. He's never denied knowing them.
I hear you.
Too much.
I hear you. But yeah, my biggest thing with this whole cheating thing is, like I said, the scariest part is that we like the juice and we don't like condom. And I just wish that we would be more considerate, and y'all around me. So I ain't gonna talk about it too much because I don't want y'all show to be no more. Keitra want me to read the comments. Let me see so much. Jesus. Boy, y'all like this.
Talking about juicing and cheating.
I tell you, boy, y'all like talking about juicing, eh?
I try and read the comments for y'all where the man say it's woman's fault that all this cheating going on.
What? Okay,
yeah, I saw that.
What did he say?
You didn't.
It's women's fault. All of this cheating.
Did he say why?
Yeah, you want me to read it now? Y'all to listen?
Yeah, man, read it.
Okay, he said, my thing is, though, if women wasn't willing to share, half the amount of cheating wouldn't happen, honestly.
You mean if women
the amount
were willing
of
to
women
share?
who know this man is taken, but still entertain him, take things from him, etc.
Ah, okay.
Kind of gets to a point where an affair starts. There's countless you don't want to be cheated on, but you don't mind being the woman he cheated with, as long as your wants are being met.
Oh, okay. I thought that was you. I thought that was you. So that's a comment. Do you guys agree with that?
Man,
I hear nothing.
No, I asked if you guys agree with that. Do you agree with that comment, Dakota?
I don't agree with that. Because these men be running you down.
Okay then.
It takes two. It takes two. You cannot blame one person or one side or female because she takes on somebody who's in a relationship. Because men do it and women do it. So it's really either or.
And niggas in relationships.
It's not really a blame.
Hold on, what'd you say, Gail?
Who have a better sob story than men in relationships?
You better stop.
You talk to every man in a relationship, his wife or girlfriend ain't doing nothing. She ain't feeding.
No. Hold on.
You know what's
funny?
Can't go to dinner.
You know what's funny?
Nothing.
You know what's funny? And this is what we do. And this is where I think one of the big problems is, right? I ain't saying you wrong, Gail. I can't say you wrong. You're absolutely right. But you know what? It's the exact same thing on the opposite end. Men would say the exact same thing about women. But we tend to pass. Yes, people are people. But we tend to pass this off on one sex as this is exclusive to them. Like you said,
not exclusive.
Just pass it off to one sex.
But that ain't even the case. Like I could guarantee you, if you talk to the same amount of men and the same amount of women, you would probably get the same amount of stories on either end. It's even, but it's just that we have a bias to our particular sex. We tend to frame things with our bias because there are a lot of women that do. You can mean to tell me women don't have issues with men in these relationships and they don't have sob stories?
What? Yes, but Greg, the lying factor.
What factor?
No offense. Y'all started the game. I see Andrew being bad. Y'all started this game. The lying factor go deep.
No, you can't prove that. Human beings is lie, period. To get over.
Yeah, but look at the scenarios around you.
What scenarios?
The scenarios when it comes to cheating. It's still very much, even though we women do it as well, it's still very much a man's game. And men tell you all kind of things, like Gail say, oh, I'm happy with my woman, and she don't cook for me, and we don't have sex, and we sleeping in different rooms. And look here, that lie game.
Oh, talk about it.
That lie game is strong.
Someone say Greg read Andrew comment. Which comment? Because I saw Andrew comment more than once. I don't know.
And you know Andrew talk a bunch of caca.
What is it? My ex-girlfriend.
Andrew is very special.
Condoms. I hope you don't mind that I used it. My friend forgot his. Oh, this must be a nice someone said it. Let me see. Hold on. Let me read this. Andrew says, my ex-girlfriend told me I found one of your condoms. I hope you don't mind that I used it. My friend forgot his.
Well,
I don't. Someone could break that down for me. Gail, you could break that down for me. I don't get that one.
I name pot and I name.
I name pot and I and that.
See, but you see how Gail let me even want to get into that. They avoid not taking up for these gals.
It's not
for these bad gals.
No, I ain't taking up for her. She should have had her own condom.
She should have had her own condom.
Why are you borrowing other people's condom? Honestly, if you decide to cheat, right, you need to be prepared. If this is the road you decide to go down on, you should have all bases covered, including prophylactic protection.
Exactly.
But why do we? Okay, is it a matter of us being selfish that we decide to cheat? Because, like you said, you could just easily leave if this person isn't fulfilling your needs. Why not just leave? Why stay in a relationship and risk all kind of different stuff by cheating? Why not just leave? I
think initially it's the potential of being able to fix what's wrong, but at the same time, seeking to please yourself. You want to be happy. It is selfish because you want to try and maintain or fix what's going wrong in your relationship, but at the same time, you still feel the need to be provided or to have certain things for yourself. You won't feel a certain way, and you think, okay, maybe this man can probably get to the point where he's giving me the things that I need, and I don't have to seek it outside of the relationship. But after a while, I think you realize that that's all bullshit, and it's probably not gonna happen. You gotta be an adult and make a decision.
Yeah, what'd you say, Chrissy?
This level of neediness is scary.
Yeah. Woo, talk about it.
Really that incomplete?
Yeah.
Talk about
How needy can you be?
Yeah, but let's talk about that, Chrissy. Like why do you think people are so needy these days? Like, why do people require so much of another person? And should you come in requiring so much of other people to make you happy?
You need to come in whole. I'm sorry, all this neediness.
See, but that's interesting. A lot of people feel like they need to go in relationships to complete themselves. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To find that thing that
you need therapy
for happiness.
If you feel that way, you should get some therapy.
But that's a big part of our society.
I agree. Like me, I with Chrissy on that, and I think like when I talk to like more older, more mature people, they share that same sentiment. But the younger demographic doesn't, feel like you should come in, or like they go into relationships because they have voids that need to be filled, and they try to find someone that can fill it for them.
Fix you.
Yeah.
How though, Chrissy? How do they go about doing that?
I think it's this, right? It requires a lot of work. We all know what our deficiencies are as human beings. We all know as women when we go into these relationships what our deficiencies are. And if we don't know, the person coming into your life is a teacher to teach you what your deficiencies are. So you got to do your work and fix your life. This whole, I need you to complete me.
It comes with maturity too, Christy. It comes with,
it really
comes with after going through things. And, some people, they could go through all the shit and the cesspit, and it doesn't affect them. They learn nothing. There's nothing that changes about their life. And then some people, when you go through things, it's like you at one point you just have this epiphany, and you're like, I gotta change this. I can't go through my life being this person who, and I speaking about this from a personal point of view, because I was with my ex for such a long time, and because I grew up from literally a child into adulthood, I realized at some point that I relied on him heavily.
Right.
So to literally complete this phase of happiness that I had in my mind, that I thought this was what I needed to be ultimately happy in life.
Well,
and I did everything. And I did everything. I stayed longer than I should have stayed. I did things that I shouldn't have done. I sacrificed myself. I sacrificed my womanhood, my femininity, my power, everything. I can tell you.
Who taught you that?
Experience.
Who taught you that?
Who taught me what?
To do that.
Who taught me not to do it, Chrissy? Nobody had ever, growing up in the 90s as a teenager, nobody, not my mom, not my family members, nobody ever taught me as a young Black woman, you need to create happiness for you.
Wow.
All I ever knew in my family is that everybody had husbands that they stayed with their husbands forever.
True. That's a good point.
Despite how many of my uncles I knew or heard about through the grapevine were cheating and doing things that they shouldn't do. All my life, all I ever knew were people that stayed.
So just put up with bullshit.
Ultimately, praying was all I knew.
So we need to encourage women to, like Chrissy said, find themselves, fix themselves first, and
definitely
find
fix
a way to make yourself happy.
And I tell you, fixing myself was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in my life, because I had to give up. When I say everything, every part of myself that I thought was native to me, I had to reevaluate. And I can sit there and tell you, there was a time in my life when I could not even talk about my ex without crying.
Okay, that's normal.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's
powerful.
a long time to be with somebody.
Yes.
Yeah. It is.
And I think Tina really sums it up very, very nicely and shortly. She says, no one is responsible for your happiness but you. And
Definitely.
I just wish more people would come to that realization, because a lot of people walking around with these voids and they trying to get it filled by these other people.
Yep.
And this is why they stay in these situations. Say again, Chrissy?
How long we gonna fall for this? Someone else gonna make me happy.
As long as it's perpetrated.
A conversation we've been having for a very long time as people, as women. I just don't understand. Like,
you know why, Chrissy? Because there are not enough women like us who are out here being verbal and saying, listen, you don't need a man to know. People don't really understand when you say you have to love yourself. People don't understand how powerful that statement is.
You know what love yourself is in the Bahamas, Dakota? Going out and partying and getting drunk.
Exactly.
That's loving yourself.
You know how many people get married at 30 and have a baby at 30 as a goal?
Yes. It's like I think
like there's some like I gotta do this before 30, and even though you may not be compatible with the person, you have it as a goal to make this commitment to somebody.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy out there.
Yeah, it is.
Society does tell you that. If you weren't married by a certain age, you'd have children at a certain age. But the thing is, I don't understand repeating and listening to the same message when it's not helping us.
Well, you know, women and I. Let's say, let me find a better way to put this. People have to stop allowing society and other people to determine what's best for them and what's gonna make them happy. We have too much people being guided by other people and not themselves. And
but Greg, they sheep though.
No, I agree.
And sheep only know how to be led.
That's the problem, and this is why we can continue to have it, because we have too many sheep being led by the wrong people. Being led by society, telling them that they have to be married by a certain age, they have to have children by a certain age, like Gail say. It's that pressure, that constant pressure.
But you see, we say in society, but you missing the golden factor, the golden word that really plays the major brainwashing factor in all of that. It's not just society; it's definitely religion.
Oh, definitely.
That too. Yeah. But the religion was basically formed the society that we have now.
Of course.
It's at the foundation of it. So I agree. So we have to get outside of that. But we gonna wrap this one up because we over an hour now. I wish we could go. Yeah, this was a really good discussion. And I guess we can just wrap it up by saying, what happened? Why you all laughing?
That's good.
But we can wrap it up by saying, listen, you're responsible for your happiness. Stop going into these relationships with all kind of holes. Like Gail was doing earlier on. She had about 10 holes, and she needed these to be filled, and she was going to go to whatever shop she got to go to put these.
Three holes, Greg. 3, not 10.
Y'all are funny.
I don't mean them holes, Gail. Not those holes, okay?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, let's be careful. And also, people, listen.
Yeah, man.
If you know you don't like condom, listen. You need to be the most upfront, honest person on the planet who don't like condom. Yeah, because that's a pipe dream, Chrissy.
Y'all don't know y'all surroundings.
They ain't gonna stop screaming. Yeah, they ain't gonna stop screaming. But listen, please.
Things as they ought to be.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, I gonna say how I feel it should be. It's on y'all to do what y'all want to do. If y'all want to go around and give each other a bunch of diseases and kill up one another, that's on y'all. But like I say, if you could cheat, please, man, at least put on a condom, protect. Like Gail said earlier, if you ain't care about yourself, at least care about the person you with. Protect them.
Condom.
So if you don't use a condom because it'll get too hot and things was a little too sweet, you had to put it in right there. At least come clean and say what happened. You never know. You could go get tested.
Greg, what you want them to do if it's sweet?
I guess that's too much accuracy. Expecting them to come clean after being dirty.
Yeah,
literally. Come clean.
Come clean.
Gail, you crazy.
Oh, man. Y'all, let's wrap this up. It's Friday night. This is really a power show, though.
You can love yourself.
Amen.
Love yourself, y'all, men and women.
She's going
back in the group. Okay, yeah. Let's let Dakota get back in the group. Anyhow, thank you for taking part. I know it was.
I love that group. I leave that.
Oh, you leave it. You get what you needed.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I know it was short notice. I just want to thank you all. I appreciate you all for taking part on this short notice. Gail, Chrissy, Dakota. Always a pleasure to have you guys, have your insight. I appreciate it.
4 horsemen.
Yes, this is wonderful.
Thank you.
We must do this again. Do it again. But thank you, people, for watching. As you all can see, it was a juicy discussion with a lot of opinions, so we couldn't get through all the comments. We read as much as we could. But we'll probably go through. Well, I'll go through afterwards, and I'll try to respond to some of the comments after the show. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please share the video, like the video, share the video, tag people in the video if you felt it was a good discussion. We want to spread it. We have these kind of discussions every week, and we want to spread this kind of knowledge. So please share it, tag people in it, and join us.
Spread
normally
ideas.
Every Thursday, but like I said, we have to do this one. Yes. Spread ideas. Well, whoa, Chrissy, I ain't gonna encourage that one because I don't want some leg spread for some pleasure in my life. So I ain't gonna support you on that one. But yes, do spread ideas. We appreciate you guys as always. Thank you so much. You're so stupid. Please like the page. This has been the Under the Rug podcast. Follow us. Go to our website. We have a website. Go undertherug.com. Yeah, that's it. Peace. Later.